Hello YouTube, this is Nite of Misfortune with Empire Civilization, a channel devoted solely to civilization games. Today we are going to be looking at Civilization 5 in general. This is going to be the first video in a little series I plan to do, teaching you how to play Civilization 5 and basically as much as I can tell you about it. If you watched my channel trailer, you know that I like to pick apart games, this one especially, and go down to the cores. So this series will be kind of in depth and purely for those people who want to elevate their game on into the next level in Civilization 5. The first video may not be so because it's just going to be talking about Civilization 5. So let's get started. What is Civilization 5? Well, Civilization has been around for a while now. Civilization 5 is the newest released version of Civilization. The first Civilization was made by Sid Meier's, just like most of the other Civilization games. Civilization 5 was made by Firaxis in 2010, released for Microsoft Windows and Mac OS. It is a turn-based 4X computer game, and as far as the differences from the other Civilization games, this game is in sorts revolutionary. It introduced a new system of basically strategy hex warfare and no stacking, which means you basically can't have more than one military unit in one hex at a time. Hexes introduced just a whole new concept. Um, the positioning changed completely. Usually you had a square-based grid, which meant you can move to the top, to the right, and the bottom and left. This is obviously completely different because you can move. The dynamic of the game basically changes, and the fact that you can't stack units anymore makes the game feel more like chess, and positioning becomes very, very important in this game. And in my opinion, this this only reason, this whole tactical change in Civilization 5 is the sole reason why this game is much better than any of the predecessors, even though this game does have a few problems. So, talked about no stacking. Um, Other differences are pretty much minor, like graphics are updated, but you expect that. Um, Civilizations function a bit differently. Each civilization has usually a unique unit and a unique building. Sometimes it's a unique building and a building, or something else, or an improvement. And it also has a leader which has a unique ability. So if we go right here into single player and set up a game, we can pick a lot of leaders. Keep in mind, if you're just looking at this game to purchase, I have every single DLC that has come out since 2010. It is 2013 right now. Jesus, I can't believe I almost fucked up my year. Anyway, in the base game, I think I counted there was only 29 civilization. Right now, my guess it would be around 50. Although don't hold me accountable for that. So as you can see, this whole new layout, it just feels concise and just very pleasing to look at. I do not remember a game where the layout has pleased my eyes every time I start it up, and so for so long. Everything from icons to just the whole layout just looks, the art stays consistent, it's nice, and I'm overall pleased with that. So as you can see here, we have Morocco in this example, and its leader is Ahmad al-Mansur, and I probably said his name right, but I am very sorry. And I think this is, I think the in the parentheses it just explains a little bit about him. Or maybe actually I think it might be the name of the special ability, but I'm not quite sure. So for example, Morocco receives +3 gold and +1 culture for each trader out with a different blah blah blah. Um, I'm gonna be talking about these things later on, what these things mean in detail, like I mentioned before. And each civilization has its own sign and color. That is also very nice, something I very much enjoy. And for example, Morocco has cavalry and a Kasbah. Hopefully, I'm saying it right again, which is a tile improvement. And one other thing that is different, so far there have not been released any kind of duplicate civilizations. So for example, if in Civ 4 you had Stalin and I think Catherine was still in it, um, you don't have that here. So there's only one Russia, one United States, one everything. And I would really like to see some more leaders from same civilizations, which it would be very interesting. Of course, you would have to have the option to lock out other um, leaders from the same civilization during a gameplay, but regardless, another thing, the menus are very easy to navigate. So you can either select Play Now, and that will just randomly generate everything. Oh, it actually uses the current settings. That's why. So it uses the current settings you have set up in this game, but that's just quickly if you just want to pop into the game, you load it up, single player, play now. You can set up a game, which we talked about. You can go into advanced setup, and you can change pretty much everything. Another thing that is new to Civilization 5 is the introduction of city states, and it adds another huge dynamic. They're not quite like players, but they do give your civilization bonuses. And if you don't really like city states, you can elect not to play with them. I usually just leave it at the map's default size. You can choose all these map types. Keep in mind again that I have all the DLCs unlocked, and stuff like the Donut and Earth will not be. Actually, Earth will be available. What other one is not? I think Great Plains is not available. Stuff like that. Ring is not available. Regardless, you get the point. Map size is basically how many players you want it to be, and it adjusts the map accordingly because you don't want to play tiny on uh, tiny map with like 12 players. You don't want to do that. Difficulty settings is settler through deity, and that is the first issue I have with this game. Is although I have not played much of the previous Civilization games, I definitely noticed that the AI is a bit more weaker. And I guess it's because the game has evolved into this hex system, and just can't decide best tactical approach. Saying that though, the computer makes silly decisions to attack when it shouldn't. Barbarians, at least in Gods and Kings, which is the first expansion pack for Civilization 5, um, barbarians did not attack even if they had an advantage. Now they fixed it actually in Brave New World. Barbarians have a little different mechanic. But overall, I'm not pleased with the AI, and I know that's the biggest problem some of the players have. Um, Game pace, pretty self-explanatory. Game era, where do you want to start? I usually just play an ancient because that's more the most fun. You can set the age of the world, temperature, etc., etc. The victory types, I will talk about them in detail later videos. Oh, gosh, time, science, domination, cultural, and diplomatic. Am not a fan of time victories. Not a fan. Advanced game options, max turns. Um, I guess I could talk about them right now. Didn't really want to make this video very long, but I guess these are menus, and I would like to talk about everything that's in the menus so far. Max turns. Um, Games will end when max turn is reached, so you can't choose one more turn, which is kind of pointless in my opinion. Adopt allow policy savings. Basically allows you to save policies, and I'll talk about what that means later. Allow promotion savings. Units are able to being promoted, and I think that was still in Civilization 4. Gosh, it's been so long since I played Civilization 4. I apologize if I confused something, but I'm pretty sure advancements were first seen in Civilization 4. Complete kills. You have to kill a civilization completely in order for it to be out of the game. Disable start bias. Disable matching civilization to certain map conditions. Start with total random. So for example, we've been noticing that, gosh damn it, Arabia has been starting near deserts most of the time. So if you don't want that to happen and for them to rush to that Petra right away, you disable that. Random seeds. Yeah, that's just a random number seed is generated for you. No ancient ruins. I will talk about ruins later. No barbarians. Same thing as in Civ 4. No barbarians will come and attack you. But barbarians, actually, I'll talk about that later. No city raising. Basically, you can't destroy cities when you capture them. No espionage. You've seen espionage in the expansion pack to Civilization 4. One city challenge, and then only one city can be built. Quick combat, quick movement, which I usually turn on to speed up the game, especially if I put out a video on YouTube, because even though it's nice to see, my channel is not really about graphics, it's about strategy, not we don't really need to waste time to see that. That's more for Let's Plays. So if you want to see graphics, I would go to a Let's Play channel, because I won't be even focusing on that, because my computer is not very good. It's a laptop, and I basically am straining my computer by not putting it on lowest settings. But it's fine. It's running fine. Not that slow. Quick movement, same thing. Ranging barbarians. That's another thing. On simple barbarians are insane. They pop like almost. They can pop every single turn. I've seen that happen. It's insane. And that's without Raging Barbarians. So I have never played with Raging Barbarians, and I can't imagine what that's like. I'm not sure what the computer changes, the spawn probably, or their strength. I don't even know. Anyway, random personalities, you can choose a different nation and a different leader than it's supposed to be. But however, I used this once and it didn't work for me for some reason. Or maybe I don't know. Regardless, that's the settings. You can load game, of course, scenarios. Once again, these are not all available in the base game. Tutorial, we will not be doing that because I will be talking about it by myself. Multiplayer, internet, local network, and hot seat. In my opinion, this works better than in Civ 4. Civ 4 menus were just... Now, compared to this, Civ 4 menus just on a whole different level. People have been saying there's a lot of problems in Civ 4 multiplayer, but honestly, I have not played that much, but I have played enough, and during my games, I have not seen major problems. And a game is allowed to have some problems. It's nothing that would detriment me from playing the game. Local network, hot seat, all self-explanatory. Mods. You can download mods, which is another great addition. I think that was still available in Civ 4, but now it's linked to Steam, so you're able to basically do anything you want. See, it's updating automatically my mods right now. I don't really use mods, to be honest. Options, self-explanatory, interface, video, audio, multiplayer options, all that jazz. Other latest news that will pop up, Steam overlay Civilopedia. Very nice, very nice thing to have. You can look anything up in the game and you will have it Replays are also nice, so you can load up this. Actually, I probably should not have done that because it's going to take forever now. But that is actually the end of the video anyhow. Oh, it loaded. So you can see basically everything that happened during that game. And the nice thing, you can view the map, play, pause, adjust this, and see what happened, which is very, very interesting. Leaderboards. These are not all my games. That's weird. Oh, that's friends. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. All right, so I guess that is it for this video. Next video we'll be talking about the basics of Civilization 5 and we will actually jump into an actual game. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. If you like what I do on this channel, please subscribe and please comment. It helps me out a lot. Please suggest whatever comments are welcome, even if they're like hate comments. I will most likely be laughing at those, but regardless, it's nice to read whatever comments you guys do. Yeah, like, subscribe, and stay tuned.